All right, Baz, a search that started with what? Eric Morris?
Yeah, well,
Eric Womack, Alex Golish, and now it's ended with Ryan Silverfield. Your thoughts?
well, yeah, I'm surprised. I don't think he was the number one choice, obviously.
Yeah.
I think it started with Golish was the top choice of the G5, and you had Womack at Alabama, you had Silverfield at Memphis, and you had, who else? Summerall at Tulane. And I think Summerall was the choice for Florida or Auburn.
Yeah.
Florida got him, and so I think we thought we would get Golish.
As of last night, you were pretty sure on Golish. What do you think happened?
Well, again, Kiffin going to LSU, Summerall being clamped down by Florida, all of a sudden Golish had an option.
Yeah.
He could go to Auburn, he could come to here.
Yeah, the eye test, when you watch Auburn play last night, and they had 11 underclassmen playing and starting in that game.
Yeah.
And you look at what you'd be inheriting at Arkansas, you think it's as simple as that?
Yeah, what do you think is a better job? So, listen, I would not want to follow Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss. So Ole Miss, I don't think, was ever an option for him. But the Auburn job was an option for him.
Yeah, and Hog fans hate that you're settling, and that's what you feel like you're doing right now.
Yeah. This is, I don't think anybody, I don't think the selection committee probably had Silverfield as their top choice. And if you look, you got Bobby Petrino, you had Sam Pittman. I think having Silverfield. Now, listen, he may turn out to be a great coach, but right now he doesn't win the fan support and the press conference.
And I think if you're Hunter Yurichek, you want to get him out in front of the media quickly to try to sell him. And now it's not going to be until Thursday we hear that they're going to introduce him.
Yeah, a school of PR, that's bad.
Yeah,
that's bad. Hunter Yurichek's down in Dallas doing the college football selection committee Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah. Hey,
Thursday's bad.
This question, why does a guy who has in the middle of a coaching search that could determine the fate of his career take on that job outside of a resume builder?
Yeah, I'm not sure it was a wise decision there. I think, and listen, he's got support on the board of trustees, but I'm just to tell you that this is not a popular hire. I hate it for Ryan Silverfield. He was 8-4 this year, Sully. He lost the last 3 games of the year. And so I'm sure he's a fine coach, but he's not what Arkansas fans expected. And, listen, you got to raise money. You got to make the right hire. I think Golish maybe had that ability. Yeah. But I don't think Silverfield, is going to hit that moment.
Do you think it played a role at all that, his name was leaked early to Arkansas, that played a role in him going to Auburn at all?
No, I don't. But I don't think it helped us. But I don't think it mattered to him. He was going to have the choice. So the question was, it made it look like that he chose them over us by throwing that out there early. So somebody shouldn't have run their mouth like they did.
I want to go back on our talk on after the Memphis game, and you were impressed with the way their defense got after Arkansas.
Yeah, they were well coached. I give them credit for that. There's no question about that. And apparently, he's a really good guy and a good coach. But again, I think a lot of Memphis fans were ready to move on from him this year when they lost 3 in a row there at the end. So this is where we are right now. So the bottom line, the fans are not happy. You need to feel the pulse of the fans. And I hate it for Ryan Silverfield, but this is not the move that I think Razorback fans were expecting.
Young guy, 45. He does have NFL experience.
He does.
He coached a couple of times. He's a line guy.
Yeah.
The reality is, optics don't look good. People aren't happy with the hire, but big picture, you don't know which one of these mid-major guys is going to pop.
But Sully, here's the deal. You fire Sam Pittman mid-season.
Yeah, you've had a long time.
You've had a long time, and if this is where it says we are, that we're gonna hire a guy that he did win double-digit wins the last 2 years before this year. He's 8-4 this year. Lost the last 3 games. Lost at UAB, 24-point favorite. I picked that for the Oakland Sports app. But I think from a fan reaction, this is what you're going to get. So. Let's just be honest. Hunter Yurichek has been under fire all this year. Once he was at the Touchdown Club and said what he said. Yeah. And the reality is that this is not going to inspire the fan base. And so is it important that you have inspired? Is it important, Sully?
Oh, it is.
It is. Yeah. It is. And so, I know this is weird, but at this point, I'm like, why not just listen at this point? Go get John Gruden.
Yeah,
go get somebody outside the box. Maybe not John.
They apparently didn't talk to Gruden.
No. Gruden wasn't even just anybody to inspire the fan base. You see the reaction you're going to get. Did it matter that this was? He's going to roll the dice on Silverfield. I guess
for a guy who is so concerned about optics, Hunter Yurichek, he settles for this hire.
Yeah, this is. I don't think he. Yeah, well, he felt probably had no choice once Gola said he was going to Auburn. So this is. But you can see the fans. It's like, wow. Yeah. So a lot of people would say, Sully, just leave Bobby in here.
Yeah,
Bobby
he'd be more. I was thinking that private. He'd probably be a more popular announcement if he announced him today.
I think at this point he would say, we're gonna have Bobby another year.
Yeah.
Let's see what he can do. But that's not the choice now.
How much of this is a stain when you're trying to sell the Arkansas job of the past 10 years? That they've really struggled, and you got an athletic director that's kind of iffy, and they're just the big picture. You got the money hasn't been. We've heard rumors that they've had trouble making NIL payments at times.
Yeah.
That all that gets out.
Well, this was Hunter Yurichek's hire. Yeah. So he had a selection committee. They presented to him 5 or 6 names, whatever. It was Hunter's hire, and so he has to live with it. So that's the bottom line here. And I think you see the reaction is like, I think most fans are underwhelmed.
What do you think the reaction would have been today if he said, we're going to pivot back to Bobby Petrino? We didn't get our guys. We're going to give him a shot. We're going to hire a high-powered defensive coordinator. We're going to have a director of football.
Yeah, you would have half the fans not happy. Half the fans would have been happy. Now you have no fans that are happy. You probably have 90% of the fans that are not happy. So he may not care about that. The board of trustees may not care about that.
Yeah.
I know he's got the votes on the board that are supporting him, and then those that are not.
If the fans are not motivated, is the money going to be motivated?
Yeah, I think that's something. And Sully, do you think that he expected to wind up with Silverfield today?
No, I don't think he wasn't even on my playing card right now.
So here's an interesting thing, Sully. Think about this: Eric Morris.
Yeah.
So I think they told Eric Morris that you are not our number one choice. It's goalish, so you can move on. So he goes to Oklahoma State. If you had the choice, would you pick Silverfield or Morris?
I'd go with Morris.
I know. I think what happened is that they felt they had Golis. That was their choice, and that was Summerall was not going to go to Florida.
I think when those 4 names came out, you can include Womack in that. The one that least inspired people was Silverfield.
Yeah. Yeah, you look at this year now. He did win double-digit wins. He was hired by
won 11, 12 games.
That's right. He was hired by Mike Norvell. He's has NFL experience. But this year I know a lot of Memphis fans were ready almost to move on from him at the end of the season.
They had a big game with Navy and lost to Navy.
Yeah, and then they were supposed to be a 24-point favorite versus UAB. And I will say this, again, they were well coached against us. Yeah. He's going to walk into a bee's nest of negative.
Well, you do have a guy who wants to be here. I would assume. I mean, this is his big shot.
Yeah, I just wonder if these people know what he was getting into. And so, but here's the bigger question, Sully.
Yeah.
The bigger question is the athletic director here.
That
I have no agenda. The Touchdown Club. We heard it a few weeks ago, or 5 weeks ago, or 10 weeks ago with Hunter Yurichek. It hadn't stopped since then. I just don't know.
You know what really boggles me about Hunter Yurichek? He seems not to be concerned about what the fans worry about. I mean, we've squawked for years about how we want our stars recognized, both in football and basketball. He doesn't seem to care.
So that's an interesting point, Sully. So let me just say this. And so listen. I have nothing against Hunter Yurichek. I respect Kyle Parkinson, who's the SID. But the overwhelming fan sentiment, including Darren McFadden himself, wanted to have his number retired.
Yeah.
We can't even get that right.
Yeah.
Because here's the deal, Sully, is because everybody up here thinks they have all the answers. Nobody wants to listen to anybody else. Yeah. Nobody wants to listen to anybody else. Nobody wants to think that everybody up here, you get up here in your ivory tower in Fayetteville and you think you have all the answers. The bottom line, there are people around the state that want to give you input. But if you don't want to take it, this is what happens now is you wind up in this kind of situation. And for our state, we need everybody together. I don't think from Jeff Long to what we have now with Hunter, I don't think they understand that. And people want to help them succeed. They feel like they don't need everybody
we're looking
else.
at the stadium right now. Look across there, and you see 5, 77, and 12. And you don't know what the heck they recognize or what they mean. That's how you're honoring Darren McFadden.
So in a state like Arkansas, Sully, let me tell you, the bottom line is you need everybody to come together. You need everybody, whether it be guys like me or Joe Klein or Darren McFadden or whoever. Listen to what people are saying and don't feel like you have all the answers because this is where we are now. And so I hate it. Yeah. And hopefully it will work out. Maybe it will work out, Sully.
Yeah.
Maybe it will work out with Silverfield, but obviously it's not the fan favorite. At this point.
I would think at this point in the condition he's in, he would have taken the temperature of the fans and at least floated Silverfield out there to see what kind of reaction, or if he's even looked at it.
I don't think he had any choice.
Yeah.
I think if you think about it, Sully, that once
the dominoes were falling.
Golish, I think, was the choice of the selection committee.
Yeah.
I think that was their favorite. And then Morris was 2. They told Morris, you're not the number 1 choice. Morris goes to Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden now you had you had Summerfield take the job at Florida.
Yeah.
Auburn opens up.
I think if you get Morris, you can sell him as the quarterback whisperer. That he coached Mahomes, he coached Mateer. I mean, I think he would have been an easier sell.
Yeah, well, listen. I want to go beat Golish's rear end now every year.
Yeah.
I don't care if there's wives from Greenwood. I don't care.
Yeah.
I want to go.
That apparent, the whole family angle didn't.
I want to go whip his tail because
make another trophy.
He chose Auburn over us, which is fine. But I just don't know. You have to rely on. You start with Hunter. That's where it leads. Again, I have no animosity personally towards him.
Yeah.
Just from the doing the job, I just want to see us get back to where we can win again. And maybe Silverfield can get the job done, but I just know it was not a popular choice for the fans.
The problem is going to be, too, for 3 or 4 days, it's going to be negative. It's going to be negative about Silverfield. And he's not even going to get a chance to get in front of the media until Thursday.
Well, the problem was he was not the first choice.
Yeah. I don't think he was the second choice.
He was not the second. He was not the second choice.
Yeah.
He was so the problem is you've got thousands of fans around here waiting to rally around someone. Do you settle for that, or do you go a different direction? Do you find somebody else that you can choose?
It just bothers me that, at a time when you need a guy to rally the fans to rally around,
right?
You didn't seem to be concerned.
Now we'll say this: so Trey Schapp from the Buzz reported that it was Golish.
Yeah,
I think that was accurate. That Golish was the guy.
Yeah.
Now here's the deal: somebody in somebody's camp let that out.
Yeah. Why would someone have done that?
And that's a negative.
Yeah.
That was not helpful at all.
Yeah.
That was not helpful at all. And so the point at this point is that was not a good thing. And so that put pressure on everybody. And the question, if that had not happened, Sully, I think we might be still in the same situation.
Yeah, that's right.
But the question was, would we have passed on Morris to get the Silverfield?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just sad. I mean, you want when you hire a new coach, you want an excitement for the fan base. That it's a new beginning. You're wiping the slate clean. We got great hope. You want to create hope for your fan base.
Yeah, I think if you were to poll, as you said earlier, the most of the fans, if they would have had the choice between Silverfield and maybe Bobby Petrino, they said, let's give Bobby one more year. Let's see if we can find a different coach. Nothing against Silverfield. Maybe he turns out to be a good coach.
Yeah, that's right.
But if you look at this past year, they beat Arkansas.
Yeah.
Look well coached, but they did lose 4 games this year, including UAB, Navy, East Carolina, and others.
Coaching is what have you done recently, and those losses were bad.
The other question, Sully, is can you raise the money?
Yeah, that's right.
Can you raise?
That's right. You got to motivate the money.
Can you raise the money? So anyway, it's not been a good year for Hunter Yurichek starting back when we fired. Obviously it was firing of Kevin Traynor, and it just sort of where are we at here? What are we doing here? Here's the deal. I'm just saying, Sully, back to the point.
Yeah.
In this state, you need everybody. You need everybody involved.
Yeah.
You need everybody involved.
Yeah.
Get
I go
Joe
back to
Klein
the
up here.
McFadden thing. When you're honoring Dad McFadden, you want to plan something big. I mean, this is your greatest Razorback, and you got the 5, the 7. I mean, you wouldn't know what the heck that is up there.
Sully, I'm just telling you, they didn't ask anybody's opinion. They thought they've got it figured out, even though Darren McFadden himself said that he wanted the number retired. He would love to have the number retired.
Yeah.
Same thing with the trophies. I got beat up because I brought up the fact for 8 years we've had the trophies in storage. Everybody's mad at me about that up here.
Yeah.
Let's do it right. Listen, you need the whole state.
Hey, when you haven't had recent success, you've got to go back to reminding people, that there were good times. That, that's the thing with Bobby Petrino. Even when honoring the former players, honoring McFadden, honoring Joe Klein, Darrell Walker, that people know those guys played here.
Yeah, that is important. So the question is, it's going to be a bumpy road, Sully, for the next 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
If the press conference is not till Thursday, if I'm Ryan Silverfield, I'm thinking, what have I got myself into?
Yeah, and you saw Senior Day. He's basically replacing an entire roster.
Yeah. The question is, can you raise the money, Sully?
Yeah.
Can you raise the money? Can you inspire the donor base to give, millions to Ryan Silverfield?
Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see how many follow him from Memphis, too.
Yeah. Yeah, they did beat us, Sully. They did. They did beat us, but I just don't think this is where we expected to be at this point. Especially when Sam was fired. What October? mid-October, right?
Yeah.
After Notre Dame.
And then I think I think people had accepted Golish, that he had the Arkansas ties.
Yeah, that's right.
He had coached at Tennessee. He was an easier sell.
He was. Yes, and the fact that he had SEC.
Yeah.
He has SEC pedigree.
Yeah.
He coached at Tennessee.
Yeah.
Silverfield has not, so.
Yeah. It was like, you get the message. Are we really settling for this? Is it really Silverfield?
Yeah, I think the appearance is we had to do this, Sully, and that's what you don't want to do.
You don't want to be forced into it.
And maybe that because the Shap, tweet early in the week forced them to put that out there.
Yeah.
Which tells you something. Somebody gave that information to Trey.
Yeah.
Which probably should have given that information to Shap.
You think you'd be in good position as long as you've been searching for a coach. That you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You would think.
Well, so if you knew that Silverfield was the answer, do you go with that?
Well, I would have floated his name, or I anticipated this kind of reaction, though. I had not heard, even when I put his name out first. It didn't get good reaction.
Well, you had a search. You had a search firm. You had a search committee that vetted whoever that Hunter had passed on to them, and they had to do the best with what they had. Then Hunter made the right. It made his decision.
Where does getting a popular choice rate on their priority list?
Well, this was Hunter's hire. Hunter also, they said, Hunter was the one that fired Chad Morris, which was the correct move to do. He was the one that extended Sam Pittman's contract, gave him a couple extra years, and so the question was, should Hunter have hired this coach?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's going to be hard to motivate the fans and the money. That's the problem.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, Sully. I came here from Florida 40 years ago, and one thing I learned about this state is that the way you win is that we all come together. We take advantage of everybody, and you can't do it by yourself. You can't think you're smarter than everybody else. You get everybody involved, not just 4 or 5. You get everybody involved. And then roll the dice. And so if this is it may turn out to be. Ryan Silverfield may turn out to be the guy.
Yeah.
But I hate it for him. He's going to come in here in a hostile environment.
I was really under the assumption if you failed with your A, B, C, that you default to probably Petrino, and you give him a short-term contract. You tell him you're going to spend the extra money on a defensive coordinator, and you see what happens. Maybe if the picture changes in a year or two, and give him that shot. And I think you'd inspire maybe half the fan base.
Yeah, Sully, that would be interesting to see how many fans would have rather said, okay, at this point, let's go another year with Petrino.
Yeah.
And let's look again. Let's look again before we settle for Ryan Silverfield.
Yeah, spend the money on a defensive coordinator, maybe bring in a director of operations to handle the NIL to make sure the defense got the even split.
So here's the deal. So here's the deal that I'm worried about. If Lane Kiffin, which is going to be announced today, he's going to LSU, he hires Ed Orgeron to be their DC. What about us hiring Ed Orgeron to be the DC up here?
Yeah.
And let him go to work. Give him $3 million and let him go to work and bring in some talent.
It'll be interesting, too, to see who Silverfield can bring to Arkansas.
Yeah. So the folks in Memphis who've talked about him, Sully, they've said good things about him. He's a nice guy, good coach. And he has. Listen, they were well coached. They beat us.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I just don't think it inspires the fan base.
Yeah. He's going to have to win them over. I mean, it starts on Thursday, and I wish it started on Monday.
Who was the basketball coach who came here, did the press conference?
Dana Altman.
Yeah, I think he may feel a little bit of Dana Altman.
Yeah.
He walks in, all said, does he realize that?
And takes a closer look at the program. And
yeah.
Yeah. I imagine if you did the eye test last night and you're Golish and you look at Auburn and the fight they put up against Alabama and you see the sophomores and juniors starting in that game, that you say, man, I can hit the ground running there.
Yeah, he probably feels his resources are better at Auburn, so you can't blame him. But we were the ones.
I was sitting on that family angle that his wife was from Greenwood. And
well, again, I think if at that point, I think Summerall. Remember, think about this. A week ago, Summerall was headed towards Auburn.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, and Kiffin maybe was headed towards Florida or LSU.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Summerall becomes the target of Florida. So yeah.
Well, it's unfortunately you're the last domino. I mean, you have to wait for the others to fall.
Yeah, again, Eric Morris was I think was told he was not the first choice. He takes the job at Oklahoma State. I think you would probably have chosen him, right?
I still think if you don't get your A, B, and C, you default to Petrino. I think at the point you're at in the fan,
I think you're right.
I think he could win the fans over.
Well, at least for a year. At least for another year. Just give him another year and see what you can do, until you find the question, would it be better between him for another year or Silverfield for next year? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, all I know is that so here's what's going to happen, Sully, too, is that when Hunter Yurichek shows up on TV Tuesday night, and we haven't had a press conference until Thursday, I'm just going to tell you, the optics don't look good.
No, they don't.
The optics don't look good. It's just the bottom line is that
you should be athletic director first.
You're in Dallas.
Yeah.
You're in Dallas, and we're hiring Ryan Silverfield on Thursday. It just doesn't look good, and so.
Yeah, and for a guy that needs to get out in front of the media, he needs to win some people over. He needs to be out there Monday.
Well, here's the deal. So you've got supporters out there. Are you big donors out there, and board of trustee members? You're the folks who control the narrative here.
Yeah.
And so it is what it is at this point. We just got to live with it and hope it works out.
Yeah.
So listen. If he's the coach, we got to hope he does well.
Yeah,
that's right. Hope he does well. Right. And so can you question that? Sure, you can. At this point, boy, you're just looking at it going, wow, this is where we were. Sam Pittman fired after Notre Dame in October.
Yeah.
We're hiring. Here's the deal. I'm going to fire Sam Pittman after Notre Dame. We're going to hire Ryan Silverfield in November.
It would have been better if they hired him after the game, in September.
That's right. Yeah, it just doesn't. It doesn't match up, and I hate it. Here's the deal. I don't glory in the fact that this situation is. I hate it.
Yeah.
But the reality is this is what fans are saying, and don't you think, Sully, there's a value in listening to what fans are saying?
Yeah.
Getting a feel of what fans are saying too.
Well, you got an athletic director who really recently hasn't listened to the fans. I mean, Nolan Richardson-Cordy had to be pushed to do that. I mean, it's sometimes he's tone deaf as far as when he, with easy stuff like recognizing players and doing a good job honoring the greatest Razorback, and how much thought went into that.
So here's the deal. So if I'm Hunter Yurichek, I would make 2 calls. I'd make 3 calls. Houston Nutt, Kevin Scanlon, Joe Klein. Get your rear end up here and help us. Help us be better. Help us be better.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. But that's just from my opinion. Listen, it's not me. I don't want to be AD. I'm just saying those 3 guys can help this program be better.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not getting a Christmas card from anybody up here.
Yeah.
All I'll do is, Sully, we've been doing this for 25 years.
Yeah.
I just want us to see us get back to winning with good coaches and understanding the people of Arkansas, and then it's from Northwest Arkansas to Southwest to Southeast to Northeast.
Yeah.
It's everybody.
You just hate to settle. You're on Morris, Womack, trying to get excited about those guys. You try to get excited about Golish, and Silverfield really wasn't on anybody's really radar.
Yeah, I think he was probably 4th.
Yeah,
I think he was probably 4th of early on. So
yeah. All right, Baz.
We're celebrating. I may stitch a step here and do the show tomorrow morning. I don't know who I can get on. I don't think I can get anybody on. I don't think I can get the chancellor on.
Yeah.
I don't think I can get anybody from that.
There was rumor of a protest at the Jones Center. I don't know what they're protesting.
Listen, I know fans are upset, but that doesn't do any good. So listen, social media is a great place to express your views, and so I hate it for Ryan Silverfield. He has to walk into this kind of environment.
Yeah, it's a real tough spot for a new coach because you want to, it's exciting time for him. I mean, this guy, this is your lottery ticket. Man, you're going to get paid $5 or $6 million.
But I will say this at the same time, Sully, if you're Ryan Silverfield, you have to take a look and go, hey, tell me what the temperature is over here.
Yeah.
Tell me what I'm going to face here.
Yeah.
Maybe it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Listen,
that's why you get him over here on Monday.
I would love for him to come in and shut us all up and go, hey, you guys were all wrong about me.
Yeah.
You guys were all wrong about me. I would love that to happen. But there's a lot of, someone.
Well, he's inheriting a tough situation, though. I mean, when you look at that roster, you look at senior day, and there was 31 guys out there.
Yeah, and the question is, can you inspire the donors to give money to Ryan Silverfield and his roster?
Yeah. I think you mentioned a good thing with Orgeron. If you come in with some impressive names for assistant coaches,
yeah. So the word is that Kiffin is going to hire Ed Orgeron at LSU, and that's horrible news. That's horrible news for Arkansas fans or anybody in the SEC. Those two together could be pretty formidable.
Yeah. Do you see this? Us crawling out of this situation anytime soon? I mean,
I don't know, Sully. Maybe Silverfield could surprise us. Maybe we don't know. Yeah, listen, I think the bigger question, Sully, is not Silverfield, it's more Hunter Yurichek.
Yeah,
I think, again, I have no agenda here. I like Hunter as a person.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that from a leadership standpoint, there's been some questionable things here. And that's all I'm saying. You look at the fan base, I don't think the fan base.
Yeah, it started with Kevin Trainer because that was his connection to Arkansas. That was his go-to guy.
So that was for me. I have a major problem with that, Sully. That was back to the whole point. If you don't get that he's part of us, that's a problem.
Yeah,
that's a problem. And there was no quid pro quo kind of deal where we got him set up down. That's false. That's a false narrative. So once that happened, that bothered me, and I've said that publicly. Didn't like that. And then the other things where we talked about, what he said at the Touchdown Club about the money, and then how they handled the McFadden. But here's the deal, Sully. Listen, I'm just an old player. I'm just an old team captain. Yeah. What am I?
Yeah.
So nobody's asked me my opinion, Sully, since I was with Coach Broyles.
Yeah.
Nobody's asked me my opinion up here.
Yeah.
So I'm just giving my opinion. Nobody up here cares anyway. So I'm giving it to my friend Steve Sullivan here. And everybody out there, it doesn't matter. I'm just like anybody else with an opinion.
Yeah. You just like to have a more positive kind of day here when we're naming a new coach. I mean, there'd be an excitement, about Ryan Silverfield.
Again, I sort of hate that, and I hate it for Sam Pittman and Bobby Petrino that we transitioned from that to this. That you would hope there was more positive. So we'll see. Do you want to thank everybody for watching? So a lot of folks.
Press conference, we're pretty sure it's on Thursday. Yeah,
that's not good either.
Yeah.
That's not good either. Let me tell you, you should not wait until Thursday to
to me, I would have done it today.
PR 101, if you've got an unpopular hire, you do not wait until Thursday to do the press conference. You do it like today and let him get out there and start banging the drum. But again, what do we know, Sully? We don't know the answer, but everybody else does. But that's bad to wait till Thursday. That's not good because then you have 4 days of people stewing and being unhappy about the hire. That's been the response. Get him out here. Get him here today. Get him here today and let him say, "Hey, let's go, Razorbacks. Let's go. I'm going to Bauxite. I'm going to Texarkana. I'm going to wherever." Can
you imagine that guy if he's reading social media? He knows he's walking into. I mean, if he's doing a little research now that he's the guy.
Yeah, I would think anybody around in his circle. He's trying to find coaches too. But yeah, listen, let's get him here tomorrow morning. Before you go to Dallas, before the college football playoff selection committee, get him here and let him hit the ground running. Let's go. Let me hear why I should be excited. Let me hear why I'm wrong that he was not the right hire. Yeah. So get him here. Let's go. Let's hit the ground running.
All right. Appreciate you.
Yeah. So we've been doing this a long time together, man. I'm ready to win some games.
Yeah, it's just sad, and you're coming off a season where you were so disappointed. Another 0-8 in conference play, and you got a new beginning, and you're excited about Golish even last night. I mean, just thinking he was the guy, and then you go to bed and you come up and you read, it's the dominoes fall and it's Silverfield.
Well, it shows you that Golish was a good choice because Auburn felt he was a good choice too. Yeah. So that goes to show you we were on the right target, but he felt that the Auburn job was better than ours. It is what it is. So we'll see. Listen, I'm going to believe, Sully, one of these days it's going to get better. It's going to get better. Yeah. I'm going to believe it.
All right. Well, I appreciate you.
Thanks, Hog fans.
You may stay
watching
up here till Thursday.
Yeah. I'm going to stay over here today and see what. I don't think I can get anybody on the show tomorrow, Morning Mayhem tomorrow. I don't think anybody up here wants to talk to us in the morning. So.
Yeah. And the sad state of college football, you got the high school signing date is like December 3rd to 5th. And then you got the portal opening. I mean, this guy's going to have to. I mean, he has to replace an entire roster.
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge. I said the SEC is a tough league. Yeah, it's a tough league. And then the other part of it, Sully, is raising money. Yeah, can Hunter Yurichek raise the money? So.
Non-conference next year, you got Utah.
Yeah,
conference play. You played Georgia.
Yeah.
Played 9 conference games.
But Sully, listen. If you're a Hog fan out there, you just got to hope and believe it. So at some point, things will change.
Hey, and the reality is we don't know which one of these mid-major guys is going to pop. Who's got the it factor?
That's right.
Do you know that?
We don't know that. And the other factor I think you're going to see this week, you're going to see the board of trustees with some irritation, with what's happened here, the way this has been handled with Hunter. Hunter's done good things in the other part of the athletic department, but this football issue has not been good. going back to Sam Pittman, you know, a few years ago.
Yeah, that contract. Yeah.
So we'll see.
All right. Appreciate you, Baz.
All right, go Hawks. I still believing. It's simple. We're going to get better one of these days. Thanks for everybody for watching. We appreciate that.
All right. Have a great rest of the day. All right.